Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm back, your movie guru, with another review. This time I'm going to be bringing you a film you've probably seen pop up on your Netflix feed, but you might not know anything about it. And it's called Katie. It stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Woody Harrelson. And it's an action assassin flick. So if you don't know anything about it, there's this assassin she's thinking about, quitting the business, and then she has one last job, and then she finds out that she gets poisoned by one of the groups that she's trying to kill, a member of that group. She ends up getting poisoned, and so then she's only got 24 hours to live, and so she's going to spend that day trying to find out who is exactly responsible for poisoning her, and then she's going to destroy them, and then their entire organization. So that's the basic plot. I tell you, it's got a 44% score on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, and then a 51% score by the audience. That said, I do think that it's worth your time. So I give it 6 out of 10. But here's why I think you should watch it. So I'll start with what's wrong with it. So the action sequences, as far as some of the fight scenes, aren't the best that I've seen. I've definitely seen better fight sequences in recent movies. But they're serviceable. I can't remember a scene where she's fighting or doing anything, and I'm like, okay, that's completely dumb or anything like that. It's just the choreography and some of the things that happen just haven't been as entertaining as in some films that I've seen recently. So there's that. Second, I'd say that the acting's fine, so you won't have a problem there. I think both Mary Winstead and Woody Harrelson, and then the rest of the characters, I do think they do a pretty good job. But it's kind of hard. There's for much of the movie, she's with the daughter of one of the people that she had to kill, and they're trying to build a bond together. This is something that you've seen in other films, but it's kind of hard to do, or kind of hard to make it believable with a character that's going to die in 24 hours, and they know that they're going to die. So a lot of that, to me, kind of took away from, the realism aspect of it. It kind of made it, hard to, when someone's going to die soon, it brings a whole lot of other stuff into question. And so some of the characters' decisions, some of her decisions, and, some of the things that transpire, it kind of casts it in a different light. And then the third thing, I'd say probably the biggest thing, and this is why I think that it didn't have such a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes as well, is that it's very similar in vein to a lot of these type of assassin flicks that have come out recently, with female protagonists. So I can think of Anna, which came out recently with Sasha Luss, I believe is her name. Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. More recently, we just had Ava with Jessica Chastain. And then even this year, another film I reviewed, Protege with Maggie Q and Michael Keaton, which I thought was really great. So in the backdrop of those films, you can't help but compare this to those. And a lot of them, the plot is not only similar, just a couple things moved around, but also when you look at the elements and say that, okay, I think those did those better, you can't help but I think that kind of casts more of a negative light on it. So for instance, I think Anna and Atomic Blonde had, or specifically Anna, I think it had a lot more action, a lot better fight scenes. And then Atomic Blonde, I think, had a better plot. And then Protege, it had, I really liked the chemistry between Maggie Q and Michael Keaton. So you're looking at these other films, and you're like, okay, these all have elements in those ones that I like more than in this one. And so I think that's what kind of pushes the score down. So if you haven't seen those, I'd recommend seeing those. But if you haven't seen those and you're just seeing this one, I think that you will probably think better of it than if you had seen the rest of those films. Now, that said, those are some of the things I didn't like about the movie. What I do think it's worth watching is for something that's, if you've already got Netflix and it's something that you can just turn on and watch, it's definitely entertaining. Like I said, I didn't think the fight scenes were all that, but there was a car chase scene that I thought was pretty well done and entertaining. And then a lot of the shootout scenes I think were pretty good too. Like I said, so this isn't something that, you have to make an entire evening of and go out and check out and, sit in the theater and, drive somewhere and get dressed and all of that. For something that I can just turn on in my living room and check it out, I think it's pretty good. It's not something that I think, 10 years from now, you're going to remember and be like, oh yeah, there was this really cool movie with Mary Winstead and Woody Harrelson. I don't think any of that. But for something I can just watch on Netflix and be entertained, I think it's pretty good. The plot, there's nothing deep or anything there. It's pretty straightforward. She's going on a revenge tour. There's a couple things that they throw in to make it interesting, but it's not anything that you wouldn't have seen before. But like I said, something I can just turn on Netflix. Decent acting, simple plot, lots of fight scenes and shootouts. That's I can definitely that's what I turn on Netflix to watch. If you're bored and you need some entertainment. So that's my score. I don't think there's really too much more deep to delve into with this film. 6 out of 10. I do think you'll enjoy it. It's worth watching. It's just maybe not something that I would, go out and pay to see, or, something that you're going to remember a long time. But it definitely does its job. And if you want to be entertained, check it out. So that's all for this one. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Peace.